And welcome to the Barry Foster Show on YouTube, coming to you from the Ridge Flora Studios in the City of Charm, beautiful downtown Avon Park. As always, if you have any thoughts, ideas, or suggestions, things you'd like us to talk about, or people you would like us to interview, please put them in the comments below. We'd be glad to do that for you. And yes, we're going to monetize this program now, so if you would like to become a sponsor, please drop us a line at thebarryfostershow@gmail.com. We'd be glad to have you on as a sponsor. Not a problem. We'll send you a rate card and everything. Before we get started, I would like, however, to take a minute to thank our friends over at Bart's Computers. You may have noticed that the program went up a little late on Friday, and that's because we had some problems with our computer. We took it over to Bart's. John took care of it right away, got everything back up and online, and we were able to get the program put together and up quickly. And we just can't tell you how much we appreciate Bart's Computers and all the things they do. If you would like to, if you're in the area, need a good computer specialist, drop us a line at thebarryfostershow@gmail.com, and we'll hook you up with Bart's Computers. It may be the best move you ever made. Right now, we went out to the Sea Services Museum, the Military Sea Services Museum in Sebring. They had an outreach program with a bunch of different veterans organizations that were there. And if you've not heard about the Military Sea Services Museum, it is the only museum in America honoring the military sea services, the Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard. They've got a building that's dedicated to the memory of those who served to protect our seas, shores, and airspace. It was a wonderful time. And we had a chance during the event, before the band started playing, to talk with Fred Carino, who was the major domo over there. And let's go to that interview right now. And we're out here at the Sea Services Museum with Fred Carino. Fred, are you the chair of the Sea Services Museum? Is that right?
Well, I'm the curator, so I'm in charge of parking lots, the lawn care, and toilets.
And, among other things,
yes.
This started in 1992, is that right?
No, we became a museum in 1998, so we're 27 years old.
Wow. This is the old, for the Hendricks Field, this is where the servicemen signed. This is the old administration building, isn't it?
This was the housing administration, so back to the south of the building, all these little stick-built houses were put up in 1941. And that was married enlisted housing. And so, and of course, there was no air conditioning back then. So that was quite a feat, about 300 houses. And then this was like the assignment office for that housing and the community center for the married enlisted housing here.
And right behind us is the little supermarket. That was the old PX.
Yeah, that used to be the PX and commissary. So that's where you went to get your groceries.
Now, this started in 98. How long have you been with this?
I've been associated with museums since 2000.
Okay.
So it's become kind of an addictive habit.
How much work did it take to convert the old administration building into a museum the way it is now?
Well, they started working on it probably about 1995, but it started out with the Fleet Reserve Association. So that's comprised of retired Navy, Marine Corps, and Coast Guard personnel that have retired, and that's called the Fleet Reserve Association. So they started the thing up, and they began collecting so much memorabilia, they decided to turn it into a museum.
Mm-hmm. You have so much now, do you have to kind of rotate the exhibits?
Yes, we rotate exhibits quite a bit. People are constantly bringing us new materials. Just the other day, I got an original recruiting poster for the Army in the Civil War, U.S. Civil War.
Really?
Yeah, and it's framed. It's neat, and we just got a 46-star flag, so that's back in about 1885 or so.
So probably one of the more interesting exhibits you have is the USS Highlands.
Yes, USS Highlands was a ship constructed in World War II, and it earned 2 battle stars, one for the Battle of Iwo Jima and the Battle of Okinawa. And it had a crew of 400 sailors and 1,400 Marines, and all the landing craft that could get them into trouble on the beach there. So pretty important vessel. And in fact, it was, if you see the picture of the battleship Missouri in Tokyo Bay for the surrender, the USS Highlands is anchored right in front of the Missouri. So they got their 15 minutes of fame. They photobombed the surrender ceremony on Tokyo Bay.
I know that some of these survivors actually came to Highlands County in the late 1990s and early 2000s.
Yeah, there were at least 9, we know of 9 USS Highlands reunions here in Sebring. And each time there was a proclamation from the city council and keys to the city, that sort of thing. Of course, those sailors, there's only a couple or 3 left.
Yeah.
All of our World War II people are moving on to different pastures now. So it's important to keep that history alive, and very few people know that the USS Highlands was named for Highlands County, Florida.
Is it hard to decide what to put out? Do you have different exhibits you do, like the Army one time, the Navy one time? I mean, do you do other ways that you set up the exhibits as you go along?
Well, we have a lot of static exhibits, but for Pearl Harbor Day, we put out a special exhibit on the events around Pearl Harbor. We also did one for the end of World War II, so that was September 2nd, 1945. So that's the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, and so many younger people have no clue how significant the ending of that war was, and how the United States was kind of a backseat power before World War II, but at the end of World War II, we were the absolute dominant force on planet Earth. You might not know it, Barry, but in 1945, the United States was producing 45% of gross world product. If you can, everything that every economy on Earth was making we made 45% of it.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, and of course, we're the only atomic power at the time, and we're dominant. The United States created the United Nations.
Do you get many young people coming through here? I mean, I know you have docents, and you open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, is that right?
Wednesday through Saturday, noon to 4, but we get some young people through. We have a number of the private schools that tour us pretty regularly. We just hosted the Mason Smoke Leadership student group. So those are the top high school students from the 3 high schools here in Highlands County. And they always enjoy being here, and we enjoy having them. It would be wonderful if we could get a regular rotation of middle school and high school students from the different schools here that would come through. And we're very well equipped to teach a unit on the Civil War, the Spanish-American War, the development of the U.S. Army, U.S. Navy. Our senior members in the museum are Colonel Mike Borders and Colonel Bob Brooks, Air Force, and then Mike, of course, is an Army colonel. So we have quite a depth of military history just in our membership.
You have a great number of docents. If they come in, you get really kind of a guided tour through the museum.
Yes, our museum can't compete with the Smithsonian or the Navy SEAL Museum over in Fort Pierce, but we talk about, to the greatest extent, about individual veterans and what they contributed to our defense. So, for instance, Fred McLean was a Coast Guard medic, and he was qualified to jump out of helicopters. So if you heard his story, he was saving people out of burning ships, sinking boats, and people stranded on rooftops in flooded cities.
So as the veterans come in, do they share their stories with you as well?
Oh, yeah. In fact, when you do give a tour here, especially with a veteran, our exhibits spur or ignite old memories, and they begin talking about what they did in the service, whether it was the Korean War, Vietnam, World War II, or even the Gulf War. I had younger guys in here from the Army just 2 days ago, and they were talking about tending wounded in Desert Storm and those sorts of things. So it's just a natural ignition point for a veteran to begin remembering his or her service.
You do have I guess World War II veterans are few and far between. Korean veterans also are moving along, but do you get the younger veterans, the Gulf War veterans, the Afghanistan veterans coming in now?
Yes, we do, and in fact, they're bringing their grandkids in. That's always wonderful to see grandchildren with grandpa and grandma and learning about what they did, because there aren't a lot of PowerPoints in their lives where they will interact on what grandpa did in the Army or grandma did in the Navy. So it's important.
Well, you do a lot of outreach here. Memorial Day, there's always a big ceremony here that you're probably still getting ready for next year's. I think that's about a 360-day planning period, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we've invited Congressman Scott Franklin back for Memorial Day. We're not sure if he's going to commit. Of course, the Congress is acting kind of odd lately with their scheduling, but Congressman Franklin is a Naval Academy graduate, retired as a Navy commander, and he flew both F-14 Tomcats and S-3 Viking anti-submarine aircraft. So he's quite an impressive individual, patriotic, and in fact, when he came to visit us a couple of Memorial Days ago, he told me he flew S-3 Vikings. I says, well, we only have one S-3 Viking piece of memorabilia, and it's that framed certificate there. And he looked at it, he says, that was my skipper.
Really?
I was in that squadron.
Wow.
I go,
wow.
Whoa.
Now, I know today we're here in October. Is this event today, is this a kind of an open house for the Sea Services Museum?
Oh, it's absolutely an open house. We've got a lot of people going through the museum right now, and of course we're always free. Very few people realize it's a free air-conditioned museum, and today everything is free. So it's the Navy's 250th, and we figured we're not going to be around for the next 250th, so we better throw one now. And so we got free hamburgers, hot dogs, chips. We've got the Ransom Band showing up pretty soon. They're going to be playing some good music. And all of the veteran organizations in the county are represented here today. So we're especially glad to have the Disabled American Veterans. They've got a dunk tank over there they borrowed from Avon Elementary School. And Mike Borders has volunteered to be in the dunk tank. But I told him he's not allowed to wear a Speedo.
Thank you.
And I might even get in the dunk tank, but we're hoping the sheriff shows up. I invited Mayor Shoup to be in the dunk tank, but I don't see him yet. Hopefully he'll show up. In fact, I invited all the the council members to be in the dunk tank, but they weren't leaping for joy on that invitation. They might eat a hot dog. We got a great bounce house. I haven't seen any kids go in the bounce house yet, so we need to have some kiddies down here to go through the bounce house.
Well, you have a good representation. The Military Officers Association is here. The Battle of the Bands out of Avon Park, they do a lot of great things.
Oh, yeah.
We're here from the Tea Party. You've got the Medal of Honor Park. So you have a great veterans representation here today.
Yep. We're glad to have these people show up. We'd like to have more events like this, but it costs a little bit of money. But we'd really like to attract younger families to come in and anybody. And if anybody's listening to the podcast that has a history and interest, we're always looking for more docents. So if you're if you've watched the History Channel nonstop or read a lot of books on military history, naval history, come on down. We'll put you to work. And I actually need a carpenter. I need an archivist, somebody that can help us archive all of the artifacts that we have. We have a librarian, professional librarian, and he can always do some help. We've got about 3,000 books, all on military topics in our library. So if you come down, you can read a book in the library, fall asleep on the couch, or watch a football game, whatever blows your hair back.
Can you join the Sea Services Museum as a member? Are there membership levels?
Yeah, for $25 a year, you're a member of the museum, and participate. We have a monthly dinner potluck where we charge ourselves $12 a piece to help raise funds, but everyone's welcome. You don't have to be a veteran. You don't have to be a child of a veteran or anything. Just have an interest in museum and be a part of the community.
And so now, do you have internet presence, website, social media, that kind of thing?
Yes, we have a website. If you Google milseaservicemuseum.org, that's our website. And then we've got a Facebook page, Military Sea Services Museum. We primarily do Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and we do have a lot of history on the Army and the Air Force. We just did Air Force birthday September 18th, and there were a lot of cake eating Air Force guys here.
Mm-hmm.
They were enjoying themselves. Yeah.
So it's a great event, Freddie. And if you would like to be a docent, you can always stop by here. We're at the corner of Roseland and Kenilworth Boulevard. You'll notice it will be the only building that has a cannon on the outside. Did you get that? Did you get that cannon? Was that your?
Well, no. We have a cast iron British Admiralty cannon. It was cast in the year 1640. It's got to be the oldest cannon in the county, I think.
Absolutely.
But it was mounted on a fortress on Carlisle Bay on the island of Barbados. So the British had a fort there, and in 1642, if you can imagine this, the Dutch Navy came in and tried to capture Carlisle Bay and the fort, and that cannon helped repel the Dutch fleet in 1642.
Is that right?
Yeah. It came to us by way of a NOAA captain, National Oceanographic Atmospheric Administration Captain Floyd Tucker, and Captain Tucker was the executive officer on the NOAA ship Discoverer, and they pulled into Carlisle Bay back in 1969, and the government asked if they would salvage 6 cannons that were laying in front of the old fort. And I guess over time they were replaced by new guns, and they just pushed them off the wall into the bay there. So they'd been laying in the water about 250 years. And so Captain Tucker was a master diver, and his crew got together. They salvaged all 6 guns. The 2 best guns that were preserved went to the Smithsonian in Washington, D.C. 3 were mounted in front of what is now the Marriott Hotel or the Hilton Hotel in Barbados. And 2, one was given to the captain of the Discoverer, and one was given to Captain Tucker, the executive officer. And he preserved it from 1969 till he passed away in about 2017.
So would you say that's the most interesting artifact you have here?
Well, I wouldn't say it. No, it's the oldest. It is quite interesting. And you can look at it anytime it's outside the museum. But in fact, we have a pyramid of cannonballs that were all welded together in a pyramid. And somebody got a crowbar and broke one of those cannonballs loose to see if it fit in the gun. And I'm thinking, dude,
they can repel Karen Healy at the supervisor of elections office, I guess. It's kind of across the street.
Actually, it's pointed right at the Florida Department of Transportation building. And they don't realize it. But anyway, the FDOT guys came over. We had to move that gun. It weighs 3,200 pounds.
Wow.
And I went across the door, knocked on, and the supervisor, I said, we're trying to move this cannon, really. Have you got a tractor that could? So 5 men came over with an off-road forklift and moved it from the backyard here over to and mounted it on the cannon base for us.
And that's where it's going to sit.
That's where it's about 4,000 pounds of concrete. Yeah, it's going to sit right there.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So
it's interesting what we get here. The other day I opened up a duffel bag, a green duffel bag, and inside of it was all the green gear from a guy that had been in Vietnam. So this had been in this duffel bag for like 50 years.
Wow.
It was pretty aromatic.
Oh, jeez, I guess. So
it was interesting to go back in time and look at what soldiers carried around in 1972 or so.
It is like a time machine in there, is it not? You know, all different kinds of things coming in. And the nice thing is it's absolutely free to tour Wednesday through Saturday.
Noon to 4.
Noon to 4. Freddie,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you, and we've got 200 hamburgers and 400 hot dogs, so we need people to come down here and eat.
Well, John and I help we get down to 198, okay? Thanks again for being with us, Freddie. Appreciate you so much. Fred Carino, what a great guy, and many people don't know it. One time he was the human resources person for Highlands County, and that's where we got a chance to meet him. He's a ship captain and has many different titles after his name, and is also the curator of the Military Sea Services Museum in Sebring, which really educates, preserves, and maintains really the traditions of the Military Sea Services Museum. And also, no other merchant marine, the waterborne branches of the Army and the Air Force, and everything you see throughout the building has been donated by military members and their families. So it really is a wonderful, wonderful museum. There was a number of veterans organizations down at this event, the Military Officers Association. There was the Medal of Honor Park, and we'll have to have Major Mike Borders on to talk about that. Another great facility in the city of Sebring. Another great organization that was there and run by one of our friends, the Disabled American Veterans of Highlands County, or the DAV, run by John Vincent. We also know him as Metric. He works very well with the Vietnam Veterans Hall, where the Tea Party meets every Tuesday night. We have our meetings there. But a lot of people don't know everything that the DAV does, and I was not even aware it's not only Highlands County, but it's a lot more. We talked with John, and let's go to that interview right now. And we're here with John Vincent from the Disabled American Veterans and at the Sea Services Museum. And John, tell us a little bit about the DAV and what they do here in Highlands County.
Well, DAV Chapter 49 here in Highlands County has been around since the 90s, and they were instrumental in providing transportation for our veterans to their medical appointments. We go to Bradenton on Monday, we go to Cape Coral on Friday, and we go to Bay Pines Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So if you have a medical appointment, you get a hold of me, and we will schedule you to get a free ride over to Bay Pines and back, or wherever medical appointment you have if you cannot make it. We also do community care appointments. If you have a procedure that keeps you from driving and you need a ride to your medical appointments, or you don't have your license anymore, or for some reason, medical reasons, you don't drive anymore, we will be glad to pick you up from your residence and take you to the clinic, the hospital, any community care appointment you have in the area.
Now, are you based out of the Vietnam Veterans Hall there on Grand Prix Drive?
We have partnered up with the Chapter 1097 Vietnam Vets of America. We share the building with them, share the parking lot with our vehicles. We do a lot of events up there. The two of us get together and do both of them. I happen to be a member of both groups, so it works out well to partner with them.
Now, do you do other services besides transportation services at DAV?
We have, she's over there right now, we have a service officer who works for the county. She's also a member of the DAV, and she also helps veterans file their claims. And we've been talking to veterans all day long, and we've been telling them, if you haven't filed a claim in the last 2 years, or you haven't had your records reviewed in the last 2 years, we recommend you go see a service officer. And the Avon Park's got some. The Avon Park American Legion's got good service officers. The VFW and Avon Park Lake Placid got good service officers. See a good service officer. Let them review your records. You may be entitled to some benefits or some compensation or some medical care.
Now, is there any charge for this?
No, everything is free. The transportation's free, and the service officers' work is free. And we just want our veterans to get what they're entitled to.
Now, you just got a new van, didn't you?
We picked up our third vehicle. We have 3 different Chevy vans, and we have a Ford Explorer. We use the Ford Explorer for local transportation here in the community. And the one vehicle goes to Bay Pines predominantly. One goes to Cape Coral, and one goes to Bradenton.
Now, is the DAV all run on volunteers?
Everything we do is volunteer work. We rely on the community and grants, scholarships, and whatever else we can get. So anything that you can donate would be gratefully appreciated.
So, are there any kinds of expertise you need for your DAV?
No, if you want to be a member of the DAV, you have to have some form of disability percentage. It could be 10%, 20%, it could be 100%. If you want to join our auxiliary, you can be a civilian. You don't necessarily have to have served. So we have both the DAV and the auxiliary that work together.
So how many members do you have here locally?
Locally, we got about 40 members, local from Sebring, Avon Park, and Lake Placid. But we incorporated a DAV chapter that went out of business from Polk County, so we own Lower Polk County. We got Lake Wales and Lower Lake Placid, or Lower Lakeland, that are part of our group. We have over 700 members in this chapter.
So you're not a Highlands, you're more of a Heartland DAV.
Yeah, we've actually incorporated, when our runs go to Cape Coral, we pick up veterans from Arcadia as well and take them to their medical appointments.
Are you getting younger members now, people from Desert Storm, Afghanistan?
I do have a couple great younger veterans, some of the Desert Storm veterans. One of them is one of our chaplains, and the other one is one of our communications guys. He's very computer literate. They will help you. Another thing we do is we work in conjunction with all the other veterans groups. That's why I'm here today. We partner up with the Sea Service Museum, Medal of Honor Park. We participate in the Veterans Day Parade, and we do whatever we can for the veteran locally.
Now, you helped put the Veterans Day Parade together.
Last couple of years, we've had the Veterans Day Parade. This year, we're going to have it again, November 11th, which is on a Tuesday. It's going to be the same format we've had in the past 3 years. We're going to have a car show start at 3:30. From 3:30 to 5:30, we have a car show at Fireman's Field right underneath the water tower. At 5:30, we line up for the parade. 6:30, we do the parade. We ride out Magnolia, down to Lakeview Road, Lakeview Drive, down to the circle. This year, we're going reverse circle around the flow of traffic so that we complete the whole circle, and then we come back down Commerce. This year, we're going to end the parade at the Medal of Honor Park. They're going to have an open house. So we're going to do a little something different at the end of the parade, and we'd like you to come down. If you have not been to the Medal of Honor Park, you need to come down and see what's down there. It's very interesting.
Do you find that there's people who've been here a while that don't know you exist?
There's a lot of people that don't know the DAV exists or the Vietnam Vets exist. They don't know that our Medal of Honor Park is there, and these are all awesome facilities and organizations to help veterans.
Now, are you online? Do you have social media?
We have social media. We have a Facebook page. We have a website. It's all on our website. If you go to our social media Facebook page, you can get that information.
All right, John, we really appreciate it and all you're doing for the area here.
All right, and we appreciate it. The DAV meets on the third Thursday of every month at the Vietnam Vets Building. We meet there at 6 o'clock, and the Vietnam Vets meet the first Monday of every month at the Vietnam Vets Building. Both of them meet at the corner of Grand Prix and Corvette. Love to have you come out and participate in some of the activities we do there.
John, thanks for being with us.
Very appreciate it. Thank you very much.
John Vincent from the Disabled American Veterans right here in Highlands. John Vincent, one of the very many hard-working veterans right here in Highlands County, and doing work up in the Polk, as a matter of fact, with the DAV. And it was just a great event that they had out there at the Military Sea Services Museum, a great place to go and see history. They have free guided and self-guided tours. They have a large collection of military artifacts, everything from the Civil War, the War of 1812, right up to the modern day. They have a great model collection in there, naval ships, boats, aircraft, armor, and every artifact carries a service member's story. They have a large library, and they, as Freddie said, they're looking for some help. If you would like to help with the library or be a carpenter or any of the programs they have, they're easy to find. They're at 1402 Roseland Avenue, which is at the corner of Roseland and Kenilworth Boulevard, just down the street from the high school there near the Highlands County Supervisor of Elections office. If you want to give them a call, their number is 863-385-0992. That's 863-385-0992. And their website is MIL, that's MIL, Seas, SEAS, Museum.org. That's Mill Seas serve, svcmuseum.org. But they're also on Facebook. They're open Wednesday through Saturday, noon until 4, guided and self-guided tours available. We want to thank John Vincent, of course, Freddie Carino for helping us out, and John Larson for being with us. And we'll be back again tomorrow. John and I will be talking politics again. And we really appreciate you listening and subscribing. We get so many views. We get so many people asking about it. So please share this with a friend. Let them know that we're on YouTube. And again, if you have any ideas or suggestions for the program, please just put them in the comments below. And we try to bring you as much information and interesting guests as we can here from the Ridge Floor Studios in the City of Charm, beautiful downtown Avon Park. As we continue to look for truth, justice, and the American way, this is Barry Foster, and we'll see you next time.